Great news. Great news. Ty Richardson's off today. So you get Tommy Kraft, you get Colton Little, and the Hall of Famer, Clay Henry. Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette with you on a Friday, a football Friday, brought to you by QC Kinetix. Gentlemen, how are we doing on a summer in Arkansas?
I'm doing good, Tommy. Glad to be here this morning. Tye-Free Fridays are always good.
Clay, I'll tell you how much summer it is for me. I had a tomato sandwich last night. Bradley County tomatoes. We got Clay here?
Clay, you there with us?
Not hearing Clay.
I'm here.
There he is. Now we should push a button. I tell you how summer it is. I had a Bradley County tomato sandwich last night.
Was that? Did you have some bacon with it?
I did. I had a BLT, and then I went back. I said I just want more tomatoes. So I took one piece of bread, cut it in half, mayonnaise, and just tomatoes.
That's a winner.
And you know what else? We had Cave City watermelon to go with it.
Yeah, see, I haven't.
That's it. That was it. No chips, no mac and cheese, no. I didn't need anything else. We were talking about this yesterday. Ty couldn't understand, dinner out of the garden. But I know you get that. But that's how summer it was last night at Casa de Craft. Is tomato sandwich summer. So.
Yeah, there's a guy that sits. And I got an echo, guys. I don't know. I can't do this.
There you go. That
Get
better?
the echo out? No.
You got it on me. There you go. All right.
Not now. No, that's still an echo.
Now we got it. Should have it.
I will tell you that there's a – I can't do it, boys.
All right. We'll get it fixed here. All right. Colton, work on that. We got it in audition, and we got him looping back there. It is a Football Friday. It's brought to you by QC Kinetix, the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine. With QC Kinetix, you're going to get the healing properties from your own body, the all-advanced natural cellular therapies, platelet-rich plasma that will go into the properties right in where you're hurting the most, shoulder, knees, back, hip. I had a problem in my shoulder, and they took the healing properties from my body, put it right into my left shoulder, and healed that for me. If you're struggling and your doctor says surgery, drugs, and downtime are the only solution, call QC Kinetix today, 479-999-1234, 999-1234 for QC Kinetix. All right, SEC Media Days begins Monday. We're going to be live from Atlanta at the College Football Hall of Fame next week. We're going to get into some football with Clay this morning. Taylon Green going to be the star of the show for the Razorbacks. Xavier Sori's going to be there. Cam Ball's going to be there. And, of course, the head coach, Sam Pittman, will be there as well. Another interesting thing that happened this week, and hopefully we got this squared up with Clay. Clay, you got to watch a basketball practice with John Calipari. What were some of your takeaways from watching this open, rare opportunity to see the Razorbacks in July practice basketball?
Well, it fired me up to write about that. And I've got a column at Whole Hog Sports that
is that better, by the way?
Yeah, it's wonderful.
All right,
yeah, thanks, Colton. That echo, I couldn't deal with it.
No, I didn't do that either. But.
Yeah, so it was fun to watch a practice, and they got after it. They were playing hard, and if that's the direction this team is going to go as far as effort, enthusiasm, and excitement, they're going to be fun to watch. And they got all the parts. They got downhill drive guys. They got guys that can shoot threes. They've got low post players. They've got big men that can handle it, catch it, pass it. It's a highly skilled team. They played some 5-on-5, which last year at this time they only had 3 guys healthy. They only had 3 guys make it through the summer practices, and they seldom were able to scrimmage. And they did some 5-on-5. Either one of the teams that were on the 5-and-5 would have beat last year's team at this point, or say preseason. Now I don't want to say they'd beat the team that finished the year because that was the Elite 8 team that really, or Sweet 16, that really had practiced terrific. Towards the end, and they could grind on you. Now they're not grinding on anybody right now, except the coach is grinding on them. They talked about the conditioning drills, the 2020s. basically the old line drills, Tommy, that we used to just call them line drills. It's like you start on the
we call them
baseline.
red lines, yeah.
Yeah, and then you touch the free throw line, and then you touch the top of the key, back and forth. Then you touch the half court line. Now, Pulaski Heights Junior High, we had 3 mid-court lines. Do you ever play in a gym where when you crossed the mid-court line reverted back to a line close to the other end of the top of the key because it's it was an 84-foot court, not a 94-foot. So they gave you, once you crossed mid-court, they gave you a line back. And we had to touch those lines too, so that was 2 extra ones at midcourt.
Yeah, I heard DJ Wagner talking about texting with his dad, wanting to know what old school conditioning was going to be, and I think they're finding out this summer. So we're going to get more into that. I want to ask Clay because Clay's seen a lot of practices with a lot of different coaches. So let's get to this point. A little tease for maybe later on this hour. Clay, you've had the privilege of watching an Eddie Sutton practice. You've watched a Nolan Richardson practice.
Many of those 2 coaches. Many of them, yeah.
Eric Musselman.
Yes, I saw 2 of his practices.
And now John Kelly. And I know there's some guys that were, there was Mike Anderson in there. There was other guys. There was John Pelfrey. There was Stan Heath. But I think those are the ones we want to compare.
Yeah, and I didn't just cover Arkansas basketball. I saw practices Billy Tubbs. I saw an Abe Lemons practice, Oklahoma City. Ken Hayes. I saw a Ken Trickey practice. So I mean, there's a lot of history with me as far as basketball. I was an AP Top 25 voter for 14 years and really covered a lot. I covered a basketball game 5 nights a week for 14 years, a college basketball game. It just different conferences played on different nights. But
all right, so I want you to think about, and let's just take the Arkansas coaches: Sutton, Richardson, Musselman, and Calipari. And later this hour, we'll compare and contrast based on what you saw the other day. All right, so that's where we begin this morning. If you're not listening on the Hit That Line Now app, it's fueled by Taco Bell. If you're trying something, if you want to try something that is on the new Cravings Value menu, you'll find 10 items to choose from, priced at $3 or less. That's the Hit That Line Now app, powered by Taco Bell. All right, it's time for our opening drive. Let's get into that. The opening drive here on the Morning Rush.
You can tell I'm more comfortable. Like, I had to walk in here. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know the campus. You guys understand, I never was on this campus. We went from the Graduate down the back way, and I'm thinking, this is awful, to that building, and most times it was dark. We came in late, and maybe in the afternoon we'd come down, but we went the back way. And I saw, the Clinton House. Look, I got that thing in front. So I didn't even know what the campus was. I didn't know anybody, all that stuff. So I'm just more comfortable.
This is the opening drive.
Sometimes it takes a while to get your bearings. I hadn't even thought about that. How familiar was Calipari? That was something from his press conference the other day. Clay, what were some of your other takeaways? He talked he held court for better part of an hour, 40, 45 minutes the other day.
Yeah, he did, and there was some give and take with the media. He asked some questions.
He started it off with a question. Hey, what'd you guys see?
Yeah, I didn't give away all that I saw. I saved some. I'd made some notes, but the first thing I said was a lot of guys out there. And that's markedly different from this point last year when there weren't a lot of guys out there. There was 3, 4. Very seldom was there 5, and to work on 5-on-5 schemes, they had to put graduate assistant like Tyler Eulis had to get out there, and of course he was an SEC star at Kentucky. He knew the drills, he knew the steps and all that, but what I saw was a high energy coach, a guy that's excited about his team, and it was terrific. And just to be a summary, and I sat with Lindy Lindsay and Norm DeBryan and John Tyson, and they're all smiles. John Tyson is just like, he's like a fat kid in the candy store. I mean, it's just like he's just excited and knows what he's getting for his money, so to speak. That's his friend. You go back to what Coach Cal said about what he knew of campus. Now, he knew a little bit more about town because he knew Herman's. He had been to Herman's. That was his go-to place through the years. You know, they'd get done with practice, you know, their shoot around the night before, and he'd go to Herman's and hang out with John. So that's where the basis for him being hired started, is him hanging out, having a steak, and you know, you'd think that he would go find an Italian place, but he did go to Herman's for steaks.
Well, I mean, so we've been giving John Tyson all this credit. Maybe we should be giving Nick and Carrie some of the love. Maybe,
well,
maybe
you should.
Maybe it was that steak, and maybe it was that mac and cheese over there. That
irregardless of whether
it was them ribs.
Yeah, just put it this way. Always give them credit.
Well,
to give them credit for all things food wise. And, Gene Ann and I, we're taking a little mini vacation. You take vacations, you come over here, Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
We take vacations. We go to other parts of Arkansas. So we're going to Fayetteville, going to hang out. We got a dinner planned at Pasta Fina, out by Cave City.
Yeah.
I guess Cave Springs. I got that wrong.
Yeah, Cave City would be the other direction.
Yeah, and then
get me a watermelon if you go the other way, though.
And then we're gonna have a dinner at Herman's. Oh. So Gene Ann's favorite place, my favorite place.
There you go. Can't beat that.
But yeah, Herman's is just terrific, and John figured that out early on. And he was always gracious and humble, and held court there.
Oh, he
still
the room.
does. Yeah, he's gonna shake hands and make you feel. He gathers you in. That's his word for how he kind of operates. But but Tommy, they got big men that can catch the ball. They got big men that can pass it. You can play through the post. One of the things I wrote is the best way to make a comeback is to throw it to the low post. They really couldn't do that last year. They couldn't go get a basket inside. Jonas Adu was a little bit like that down the stretch in the tournament. But they got several guys that they can throw it to on the post. And I think that Brazil has added enough strength, and he's got some guns now. He was just rail thin the last 2 or 3 years. You won't recognize him totally because of the thickness he's put on in his upper arms. Now, don't confuse him for Nick Pringle. Nick Pringle has got Popeye guns, like old Popeye, eating the spinach, have those bulges. I mean, when he moves his arms, and he came in there with just his basketball jersey on, open sleeves. I think he wants you to see those guns.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like you on the lake. It's what you do when you go out on North Fork.
My T-shirt never comes off on the beach, the lake, or the river. Yeah. Just know that's
but
true.
Clay did take some house scissors. Some might call them shears, and cut the sleeves out just so the
that has never happened.
Just so the gun show could take place. So.
That's the kind of stuff that Ty Richardson would do, but I'm sure he has.
Yeah.
Now, not that he has anything to show. I mean, I don't really want people to see all my tattoos. I just keep them. I got a trout tattoo on my arm. I don't want people to see that. I've got 3 or 4, different tattoos on my legs. I keep them covered up. So yeah. I'm lying.
Yeah, there's that one of Houston Nut, right? So,
it's I've got one that says, like on my butt cheek, it says Ty sucks.
I don't even have a segue for that, but
I knew you did.
But I hear that particular tattoo artist has replicated that one several times.
This has been done all over.
Couple other things for the opening drive before we get to our Fence Man Friday picks. There was some conversation. Cal brought this up the other day about the NCAA Basketball Oversight Committee and expanding the tournament. Dan Gavitt, NCAA Senior Basketball or Senior VP of Basketball Operations, said that the committee did not make a final decision on tournament expansion this week. So that's probably been tabled, not going to happen in the near future. So you can put that aside. And we got some more. I want to get into this a little bit later on. The SCORE Act, which is the legislation working through Congress to finalize the the arrangement in the House that would codify and make it law. Could easily pass the House, but we'll need 7 Democratic votes in the Senate to get the House settlement done. We'll get more into that, but SCORE Act would also establish a one-time transfer rule and would roll back the power of athletes currently that they have to transfer multiple times. We'll dive into more of that coming up. That is your opening drive this morning, and it is brought to you by our friends at APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group. At APAC, they have all the top-quality aggregates. They have rock, sand, asphalt, ready-mix concrete that they can bring to your job site. Big or small, doesn't matter. 479-587-3300 is their number. 587-3300. They're the number one source for top-quality aggregates in Northwest Arkansas. 479-587-3300 for all your rock, asphalt, and ready-mix needs. It's APAC and Standard Materials Group. Time to pick some games this week. Our buddy Sean with the Fence Man is here. Sean, good morning. You got Sean?
Hello.
Hey, man, how are you?
Awesome. How about yourselves?
Yeah, man, we are
Doing good, Sean.
It feels like a short week, but it hasn't been a short week. Coming off a holiday, everybody kind of getting back in the swing of things. Summer's arrived. It's 90-something, and humidity's up. So, we're just sweating to the oldies here. All right, let's pick some games. We got some baseball. We got some different stuff. Colton's got us lined up. It's time for our Fence Man Friday picks.
Fenceman Friday Picks. Call the Fenceman for all kinds of fences, controlled access, and custom iron projects. 479-782-3936. The Fenceman. We ain't afraid of no work.
All right, Colton. I know it's slim pickings to a degree, but there's still some stuff going on out there. The All-Star break is coming up. Mm-hmm. What do you got for us this week for our Fenceman Friday picks?
Before the All-Star break in the Major League Baseball, there are a few games some folks around here might have some vested interest in. Cardinals and Braves going at it tonight. They're going to match up against each other, so we're going to start with that one first. Who do you got, Tommy? Cards or the Braves?
In Atlanta or in St. Louis?
Look, I think this one is in Atlanta.
In Atlanta, probably that makes sense with the All-Star game coming up. I'll take the Braves in that game.
Sean, who you got? Cards or Braves?
I am going to go with the Braves. One of my really great friends is a major Braves fan, so if I picked anybody else, I'd be in trouble.
All right, Clay, we'll have you pick into here. We'll fill in for Ty. Cards or Braves?
Do my picks count for Ty?
Yes.
Absolutely. He needs the help.
Then I'm going with the loser in this one. It's going to be the Cardinals.
I got you. All right, next
I'm
up.
trying to pull Ty down.
Yeah,
that's true.
you'll probably
Next
get them
up,
all right this way.
Texas matchup here. We got Texas, the Rangers, taking on the Houston Astros tonight at 7:10 p.m. Texas and Houston. Tommy, you got the Stros or the Rangers?
I got the Stros. They'll be banging on the trash can. I'll go with the Stros.
Sean, who you got? Rangers or the Astros?
Astros.
Right, he'd be picking the Astros. Clay, what do you think? You going with the Rangers, or are you gonna make it 3 for 3 picking the Houston's team here?
You really need to look at pitchers when you're talking baseball, but I'll go with the Astros.
All right. Everybody on the Astros tonight here. And then finally, good matchup out here in the National League. We got the Dodgers and the Giants, a rivalry playing on MLB Network tonight at 9:15. Dodgers, Giants. Tommy, what do you think?
Give me the Dodgers.
Dodgers. Sean, what do you like in this one? Orange or blue? Dodgers, Giants.
Give me the Giants.
Giants, all right. Clay, what do you think here? You're the deciding vote.
I'm going with Northern California. It's my favorite place. It's got to be the Giants.
Got to be the Giants. And then one last one here, around 9:30, right after we get out of this segment here in just a second, Wimbledon action is taking place. There's a semifinal right now. I'm not a big tennis fan, but I do know a couple things. Tommy, real quick here, Yannick Sinner or Novak Djokovic?
It's spelled like Skinner, like the punter at Arkansas, Jacob Skinner. So I'm going to go with Skinner. A, she's the one seed, or he's the one seed, but B, it reminds me of one of Arkansas's great punters in the last 20 years.
All right, Sean, who you got? The Joker, Novak Djokovic, won a ton Wimbledon titles, or Yannick Skinner?
Give me the Skinner.
Skinner. Clay, what do you think?
I'll go the other way. I'll go with the old dude.
The old dude,
The old
Djokovic.
dude's a 6 seed.
Yeah, he's won lots of titles.
I don't care. It's time. Yeah. It's time for him to put that boy down.
Yeah. All right, Sean, the fence man busy. I know you're probably buying a lot of Powerade, Gatorade, water, keep your crews going. It's hot out there, but y'all are still building fence every day.
We are. As long as these crazy storms that pop up every now and then, and give our guys a day of rest while it rains, but we get back out in that heat, that humidity, it makes the digging a lot easier. And but we're blessed. We got lots of work, but it's never too late. Give us a call. Let us come out and get you a free quote. We would love to do that. I mean, no one's thinking about it now, but if you get on our list and you got we're fixing to come up on fall. Believe it or not, I know it's midsummer, but you're all going to have family, you're going to have friends over for holiday parties, and the best thing to do is have them a nice, safe, secure, beautiful yard with a great fence. Or if you're looking to do security access, wanting to put some nice ornamental gates on the front of your house with some access control, we know we've got that ability as well. We've got a great set of team that can do that. We can help design you a gate. You can order a gate, and we can put access on it. We're here for you. We're all about making sure the customer's just happy.
All right, 782-3936 is the number, 479-782-3936, or thefencemanAR.com. Sean, have a wonderful weekend. Catch a big one, and we'll talk to you next Friday.
Thank you, guys. Y'all have a great weekend, too.
All right, the fence man, he ain't afraid of no work. All right, your hog update is next. That's coming up. It's the Morning Rush. Tommy, Clay, Colton, all here on a Football Friday.
An online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
This is the Morning Rush.
Just knocked him into next week. Oh, my goodness. Wow, that wasn't fair.
A lot of life can happen between sips of Dasani. The life moments, big and small, that are worth getting thirsty for. Like organizing a family movie night under the stars. Or hearing an old favorite song and having an impromptu dance party. Or finding a new dinner recipe that the whole family loves. The crisp, clean taste of Dasani was made for all of life's thirst-worthy moments. Dasani, because life happens between sips.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
We all make plans for the future, like car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050, COP CDL Academy.
Destiny is a matter of choice, and dinner is a matter of how much Taco Bell you want. Good thing you can choose from the $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes to match what you're craving. What does your destiny hold? The classics for $5, the faves for $7, or a feast for $9 featuring the new crispy chicken burrito? Oh, why is Destiny holding them all? Someone help her. Choose your Lux Cravings box only at Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation varies. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
There's only one Razorback.
Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
Razorback fans, let's stand up and call those.
107 down.
This one belongs to the Razorbacks. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Colin. Alex has got room.
Everybody, Wolf Victory. This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
If you were there at the top of the hour with us, we're 50 days from kickoff. Colton, give me a note. Back in 2015, Arkansas football scored 50 or more points in 4 games. They went on a 3-game streak of scoring 50-plus points for the first time in 99 years. So I don't know if this team is going to score 50 or more in any one game, but that's kind of a good note here on the 50th day away, Clay, from the start of Razorback football.
I thought the defense held up for the most part. The Ole Miss game would be the exception. But I thought they, especially against teams like Tennessee and Texas, they were the reason you were in the game. The offense has got to improve, Tommy. I mean, I can remember sitting with Chris Mortensen, maybe 6 years ago. He passed 2 years ago, I think it was, and we were talking about the nature of SEC football and had it changed some, and he said it had. And that Nick Saban had realized that he couldn't win with defense and kicking game. That's what he really hung his hat on when he was at LSU and when he first got to Alabama. And his goal was to score 35 points a game. And if you scored 35, you had a chance. If you go back to Arkansas' season last year, it would have been markedly different if the offense had scored in the 30s. We really – I don't know if you're ready to get into all this, but
no, not yet.
So I want to talk about offense
right.
when that fits what you got written down there.
We'll do that probably closer to the top of the 10 o'clock hour. One other Razorback note with football and offense: Ismail Cisse reportedly suffered a broken wrist. We'll maybe find out more next week at SEC Media Days. Took place in the weight room. Apparently, we don't know a lot about it. This is a source report from Hog Beat that the surgery will happen in the near future. Specifics and the severity of the injury are unknown. It's unlikely he'll suit up in fall camp at the start of August. We'll get back to more of that. The 119th Southern Amateurs coming to the Blessings. The first time the Blessings Golf Club has hosted the Southern Amateur. There's going to be 6 current and 1 graduate Razorback that are in the field for this. Clay, when it comes to amateur events, this is one of the premier events in the country, and they'll find the track at the Blessings to be quite challenging.
They've got most of the top amateurs in the world. They've got, when I say the world, there's several international stars that are coming. I think there's 1 or 2 in the top 10 that for some reason, they might have an injury or something that they're not able to play. But I talked with John Tyson about that tournament Wednesday at basketball practice, and he's excited. I mean, they've got a showcase there at the Blessings, and it's built for this kind of event. It has the length, it has the severity, and then it's wonderfully conditioned and perfect for this week. Tommy, it's free.
You can
free
park.
parking.
Yep.
You park right across the street, walk across the road, and you're right there on the practice tee. And you'll think when you see these kids, you can close your eyes and listen to it, and it sounds like Tommy Kraft has hit that golf ball. I mean, it is.
You got to be careful not to stand behind, or you'll get sucked in the vacuum. I mean, that's
they
that's
do.
Part of it.
As they say, they can send it.
Yeah. July 16th through the 19th are the dates. So
go out there and watch it. You'll get to see a great course.
You will see some talent. It'll be there on display at
the
Blessings.
course. Yeah.
All right, quick final note, and then we're going to talk to Larry Rath here in just a second. The MLB draft is less than a week away, and looks like the Razorbacks are going to be front and center. Multiple players selected in the first round for the first time in program history. 4 former Diamond Hogs finished in the top 30 of D1 Baseball's final college top 150 prospect rankings. So look for the Razorbacks to be pretty active in next week's MLB draft. That's your Hog Update this morning. It's brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
9:32 here on a Football Friday. Larry Rath's getting ready for a big weekend following what was a holiday weekend last week. And Larry, I don't know where the month's gone. We're almost to the middle of the month, and it seems like we just got started.
Isn't that crazy?
I know.
I mean, when we come back next week, we're at the middle, and we've got some catching up to do. I don't know about you guys, but we're trying to catch up a little bit. Be a terrific time to come out and
we're
take
behind.
advantage of poor old car dealer.
We're behind. I mean, we got to catch up to being behind.
Well, that's falling on a Friday and whatever. I mean, that was like a week off.
Yeah.
For everybody. So anyway, it's been a little bit of but we had a good start, and we're expecting a really good weekend because we got some terrific things going on. The summer sales drive, we always look forward to that. We got huge discounts, up to $5,000 on both lots, and that applies to new and used. I mean, we are moving them out. It's just a terrific time. Road Ready certified used cars, folks. Don't just buy a used car. Make sure you come in and check out our big inventory, Road Ready certified used cars with warranty. You simply cannot buy a better used car, and we've got a great selection of them right now with clearance prices on them during this sale. So just a terrific time to come in. We'd love a chance to earn your business and take care of you in the Meineke Car Care Center. If you're not trading right now, be a terrific time to come in. Check out their special buy 3, get 1 free on tires. They've also got 50% off brakes right now. So some big savings in the Meineke. Better yet, great time to trade. Start driving better today in a nicer, newer car from Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. Check us out online, rathauto.com.
All right, Rath Auto Resources, Fort Smith and in Springdale. Larry, enjoy the weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good one. Folks, come and see us.
It's Football Friday, brought to you by QC Kinetix, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. You got out of bed this morning, your back, your knee, your shoulder, your hips are hurting. We got a place that can give you relief without surgery, drugs, or downtime. It's QC Kinetix, 479-999-1234. They're right here in Northwest Arkansas, 999-1234 for QC Kinetix. More with Clay in a minute.
You're in the middle of Football Friday on the Morning Rush, presented by QC Kinetix. Get real lasting relief from chronic joint pain.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-551-3241. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-551-3241. That's 800-551-3241. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
This building is one of the toughest to play in.
This is the Morning Rush.
The summer sales.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Choose your escape. Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. Take a luxurious dip with the $5 Classic box. Indulge in a lavish meal with the $7 Supreme box. Or explore new worlds with the $9 Discovery box, now featuring the crispy chicken burrito for a truly unmissable experience.
Is that Tony Hawk?
Get Lux for less, only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Roback's got the gear for your perfect summer days.
East Coast summers living on the run. Now the beachfront nights, fireflies and thunderstorms. Won't you kiss me, darling? Tell me that you're gonna stay. Yeah. Give me those East Coast summers, Maryland to Maine. Now the seaside.
Shop polos, hoodies, Q-zips, and much more in the American Summer Collection at Roback.com.
Roback made finding the perfect pair of pants or shorts much easier. They're a clean fit with comfortable premium fabric. They look great on and off the golf course. So shop at Roback.com for the Delta pants and shorts.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
BetOnline continues to be your number one source for all your sports betting action. And with baseball in full swing and football season right around the corner, BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting. From MLB, UFC to tennis and NFL futures, BetOnline remains your choice for sports wagering information. In between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. Head to the website today and take advantage of their industry-leading VIP program with level-up bonuses and weekly cash boosts. Bet online. The game starts here.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas.
TRA.com or call 800-551-3241. That's 800-551-3241. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's place in Lowell online at CarpathSocial.com.
All right, teased this earlier in the show. We're going to make this our Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily question, and this is specifically for Clay. And we got a few that have texted in on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline questions to Clay about this basketball team. We'll get to those. But, Clay, I asked you earlier, you've seen Eddie Sutton conduct a practice at Arkansas, Hall of Famer. Coach Richardson, Hall of Famer, conduct a practice. Eric Musselman, who, reestablished things, and we know how good he was. And then the Hall of Famer, John Calipari, all run practices at the University of Arkansas. Compare and contrast what you saw earlier this week in the open practice on Wednesday versus what you'd seen in different eras of Razorback basketball.
Yeah, so first of all, let's talk about talent. This is the most talent that I've seen on a Razorback floor, practice, however you want to describe it, since 95. The 95 team, which is basically the same as the 94 team that won the national championship. The 95 team played in the title game, and they had big depth. And when I say big depth, I'm talking about bigs. They had Corliss, Dwight Stewart, Darnell Robinson, Lee Mayberry. They had bigs, and they could catch and pass the ball. And to contrast, Eddie Sutton left Nolan the team that, they didn't win that first year. Nolan called them the bad hands Hogs. Well, this team that John Calipari has can pass it. They have great hands. That's what I saw. Now, as far as the practice, you have to contrast that this was a summer workout, 1 hour, designed to work on skill. They're working on fundamentals offensively. The defense wasn't there, although he did talk about defensive concepts. And one thing that I saw that was noteworthy, I'll get into in a minute, about how defensive slides should be made. They were working on like how to lock down, pick and roll. They're working on little fundamental things in defense, in 2-on-2 and 3-on-3. But they didn't do, an all-out press like Nolan would, in the 40 minutes of hell. So you have to contrast it. It was like that. But the fundamental details are all the same with these top-level coaches. If there's something they don't like, they stop practice and they fix it, and they talk about it. And that's the same. Nolan taught decision making. I saw a lot of that with Cal. Eddie Sutton, the intricacies of setting a screen. In other words, your feet have, if you're off, Jimmy Counts told me, he said, if you were off 6 inches, he stopped practice and fixed it. I mean, the screen had to be set at the angle for the ball to come into the screen perfectly. And if you did it wrong, then he stopped practice, gave you a good talking to. If you did it wrong again, where would you be, Tommy?
Butt would meet bench.
Yeah. Or the whole team would be on the line.
Bench would send signal through butt to brain to correct behaviors, Bob Knight would say.
So here's the other thing that I will say. I didn't see this, but he's talked about how much conditioning they've done in the summer. That's the same thing Nolan did. Same thing Sutton did. And, you start fall practices in condition. You don't get in condition during fall practice. You start it that way. And the two things, are obvious. The really good coaches, one of the things they want to find out in the summer is your team tough? Can you break them down? And they will work them until they do break down to find out what that break point is. And if a certain player breaks down early every time, then he knows he probably doesn't have a tough player. And they have a mandatory time that they have to hit in their 2020s. And if they don't hit that time, then they don't practice. And he explained that Carter Knox missed a lot of their conditioning work because he's doing pre-draft stuff. He went pretty late in the process for pulling his name out. And he was at camps and going doing workouts and missed a lot of that May work. And he was behind, and he had to work on his conditioning until he could pass one of those 2020s before he could enter practice. So that's the sort of thing a Hall of Fame coach does. And he's going to know if his team, if he can count on a guy. And he does. Now John's not a yeller. Nolan, neither one of these coaches, none of them. Well, Muss was he
Muss
cussed.
was the yeller.
He cussed.
Yeah.
No, I mean Sutton and Richardson were loud. They yelled, but there was no profanity. Nolan never used profanity. Now, he could make you feel like you were 4 inches tall.
Nolan didn't have to. He was scary enough
That's what I'm saying.
Without any scary words.
He
He was
the
scary.
bear.
Yeah.
He was the bear, and Sutton was the same way. I mean, and it was vicious. And I mean, but you know, he also had a way of picking you back up, and I think that the commonality of all those guys, their wives were really instrumental in the team building and bonding process. In other words, Rose, Patsy, all these wives, and Ellen, who he calls the Princess Cows. I think that's his ace. I mean, she's going to make sure these players feel at home when they come to his house.
She makes the brownies, right?
She makes the brownies. She's gonna she's gonna know when there's somebody homesick, and she's gonna scoop them up, just like Rose did, just like Patsy did. I didn't know. I've been over here for 8 years, and I've heard good stuff about Muss's wife, but I didn't know her. I knew these other women and how important they were to the head coach and the team.
Yeah. And, behind
that answer your question?
That answers the question. And it kind of gives you some contrast of where they're at. All right, that's your Morning Rush Daily Questions, brought to you by Cart Pass Social, Northwest Arkansas's #1 destination for indoor golf. It is hot outside. And if you don't want to go outside in the heat and the humidity and get in the sauna, you can go right now and to Cart Pass Social. All of July, $25 an hour for each bay, 9 to 5 on Tuesdays. So if you're looking to maybe do it at a time where you can save some money, that's half off. Their bays are always $50 an hour. Tuesdays 9 to 5, just $25 an hour. They got corporate and business events coming up. So if you are looking for a place to have a team building session or a place to host something like that or take some clients, Cart Path Social offers different packages for really big-time golfers or just a group that wants to get together and hang out. No golf attire is required, and it's always BYOB. It's at 122 Grant Place in Lowell. It's Cart Pass Social. Cart Pass Social, you can call them at 479-487-3822 or book online at cartpasssocial.com.
Tommy, I've done that several times with my daughter Sarah. We enjoy it. They've got neat, the sound in there, the music. You want them to play George Strait, they'll play 30 George Strait songs. We've been in there with just the two of us. They've got a huge big screen TV, so they've got whatever games going on ESPN. If you want to go over in there, say when the Razorbacks are playing baseball or basketball, they've got it on this huge screen right in the middle of the facility. And you're a golfer. The most important thing that I've gotten out of that facility, and you can go play courses. They can set it up that.
Yeah.
But I want to know if my club face is close and what the launch angle is.
Mm-hmm.
And those numbers display on every shot. You look up there, it's like 0.8 close. Unfortunately, a lot of times it's like 2.2 open for me. So and it's really good for Sarah because she's trying to figure that out. And, we can make a change and immediately you have feedback exactly what that club face is. And I think that's for a young golfer or somebody that's really trying to improve their game. Absolutely. This is a good place. And as you say, the worst thing about practice right now is that you just get fatigued because of the heat. And this is in a climate controlled facility.
But, and I've done a lot of work recently on a simulator, and everything you're saying, all this stuff we talk about with baseball and TrackMan, it's the same technology, and really golf's where all of it was born, and now it's expanded into baseball, it's expanded into other sports as well. But you can get paralysis by analysis when you go to one of these places. But face to path and your face angle and your launch angle are three very. Everybody wants to go on. What's my club head speed?
No, that's not what I'm looking for.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about your ball speed. Let's just worry about whether you can get it square, because that's where I struggle. I can't get it square at impact.
So what you're talking about, square at impact, that's solid contact. If you can get
compression,
if
want to
you
compress
can
the
get,
golf ball.
If you can get your face angle, inside of 1 degree, you're going to be around the hole. Yep. And you're going to have, and your distance control is going to improve dramatically.
Unless you're like me and you can't line up correctly, which
but you got alignment sticks to put down.
Yeah,
you got to do that, Tommy.
Whole left eye dominant.
Hey, Big Creek has got the Big Creek practice facility. They got alignment sticks laying out there for you to use. And if you don't use them, then it's your fault.
Yep, got to get my heels square to. Everybody worries about the toes. We're getting way off in the weeds. Don't worry about the toes or your heels parallel to the target.
I think people like weeds. Yeah. I think they do.
Speaking of golf, boys, did you see that Ty did figure out where his 9-iron was?
I saw that. I saw that on social media. He made a hole-in-one and he with a 9-iron, and he couldn't find the club. He had what you had said earlier, Clay. He put it in the wrong bag.
Yeah.
One of his buddies finally drug his clubs back out, and there was his 9-iron.
Oh, I think that buddy should have kept that 9-iron. That would have driven him crazy.
One of his buddies was so defeated he hadn't golfed in weeks since he had seen Ty hit a hole-in-one.
I asked Ty what he was going to do when he went 28 years before his next hole-in-one. He said that's probably going to be true.
Hey, yesterday we kicked off the 20th annual Monster Burger Eating Contest, the football trip of a lifetime, brought to you by Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com. Your next chance to qualify, where you can win a trip to Viva Las Vegas, baby. See the Cowboys and see the Raiders, is going to be next Tuesday. You can qualify at the Hardee's on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, 2720 Rogers. We'll also be out Thursday at the Hardee's on Phoenix again. Your chances to qualify. If you can eat a Monster Burger, we had a couple qualifiers yesterday. If you can do it in 150 seconds or less, you are automatically qualified to the finals. And while you're there, they're rolling back prices to 2005. Monster Burgers only $3.50 at Fort Smith and Salisaw locations for Hardee's. So join us next Tuesday and Thursday from 11:30 to 1:30 at Hardee's in Fort Smith. All right, hour number 2 coming up. We're going to get into some Razorback football. SEC Media Days this next week. Clay's here for one more hour. Colton and Tommy. It's a Football Friday brought to you by QC Kinetix, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. More straight ahead. This is The Morning Rush.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Looking for a big new game to play? Well, there's no game bigger than the new dino-sized Jurassic World scratch-off games from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, which gives you a chance to win up to $200,000 instantly. And if that weren't enough, you can enter for a chance to win an exciting trip to beautiful Hawaii, where you could win up to $1 million. So get down to your local lottery retailer today, and welcome to Jurassic World. Must be 18 or older to play. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Designed by Jason Christie, the Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait doesn't just bring the fight, it dominates. Choose from 3 blade options: Colorado for maximum thump, Willow for bright flash, and the one the pros won't talk about, the Oklahoma blade. Perfectly balanced for subtle vibration, multiple flash points, and unmatched versatility. The Oklahoma blade is your secret weapon for pressured waters. Precision engineering, tournament proven, and one mission: dominate. Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait, here for one thing.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
This is The Morning Rush.
The summer sales drive continues at Rath Auto Resources. Right now, save up to $6,000 off retail value on your next road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle, reconditioned and backed by limited warranty. We've got you covered for your service needs as well, with half-off brakes and special financing available for those larger repairs. With our live market painless pricing and non-commissioned sales staff, we're committed to taking the hassle out of buying a quality pre-owned vehicle in the River Valley. Just another reason why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith. RathAutoFortSmith.com.
Do you need closure on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. With an unheard of 15-year spring warranty option, Grit is the team you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hoped it'd go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BODY to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text BODY to 321-321. That's BODY to 321-321.
When you're craving serious burger goodness, head to Hardee's for the all-new barbecued pulled pork Frisco burger. A charbroiled, quarter-pound, 100% Angus beef patty, topped with 16 hours slow-smoked barbecued pulled pork on toasted sourdough. Only for a limited time at Hardee's. Get a free pulled pork Frisco burger when you download the app and join my rewards. See app for terms.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. There's a slight chance of seeing a shower. Thunderstorm high temperatures into the low 90s. Mainly clear, low 70s tonight, and then Thursday, sunshine, low 90s. Friday, we're back to sunny skies and a high in the low to mid 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 50 days.
Sun rising over Petty Jean, whispering winds through the cypress green. River rolling lazy down to Buffalo's Bend. Feels like a dream you never wanted. Fireflies dancing on Lake Ouachita. Them Razorbacks are gonna win it all. Magnolia scents hanging thick in the air. It's the way of life, a natural state of affairs. Summer in Arkansas. Arkansas, it steals your soul from the Ozark Hills to the Delta's roll. Sweat on your brow, but your heart feels free. It's the only place I want to be. Summer in Arkansas, where my heart's at ease beneath southern stars and these tall pine trees. The prettiest place you ever saw. It's summer in Arkansas.
Live from the Bush Light Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Football Friday here on the Morning Rush. Ty's out today. He'll rejoin us Monday. Ty and myself will be on Radio Row at the College Football Hall of Fame at SEC Media Days, which begins on Monday. Looking forward to that. And what's kind of the, to me, the start of football season is really SEC Media Days and hearing from all the coaches and some of the top players around the league. Football Friday brought to you by QC Kinetix, the leader in regenerative medicine. They helped me with shoulder pain that I was having several years ago. The process is really simple. They draw blood from your body. They spin it up in one of their platelet plasma machines. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. And then they inject that to heal your aching joints back into the joint where you're hurting the most. That's as simple as I can put it. And it works. And, you know, you stop and think about your body and what it can do. You cut your finger, you scrape your knee or something like your body heals itself. It's got that ability. And that's exactly kind of the basis of what QC Kinetix can do for you. If your doctor said surgery, drugs, and downtime are the only options, there might be a better way with QC Kinetix. They'll look at your x-rays and your MRIs and give you their best consultation, and their consultation's absolutely free. 479-999-1234. That's 999-1234 for QC Kinetix right here in Northwest Arkansas. Sam Pittman's going to be one of the last to go, or the last to go at SEC Media Days. Clay, that's next Thursday, and the Hall of Famer Clay Henry is with us this hour. Whole Hog Sports is where you can read his columns, also the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Clay, I don't know if coaches sit around and listen to other coaches. My guess is someone on their staff or their SID probably does. One of the things is I don't think he'll get blindsided by any line of questioning that may come early in the event that coaches may not be aware of. He'll have a chance to at least from a distance read the room as to what's going on at SEC Media Days.
Tommy, this will be a stunner for most people, but they rehearse.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
I was listening to Matt Jones on our network early this week during I do 2 hours, 2 days with them. And by the way, this is a lot of radio for me this week. We may have given
stretching you out.
May have given the listeners a little bit too much of Clay Henry.
Well, you talked about Cal seeing, they take a guy and take him to his breaking point and see who's the strongest. It might be what we're doing with you this week.
We're right there. But, the thing that I will say is Matt explained that they would hear 2 or 3 different questions that they knew were coming, and they had a little chance to prepare. And he says, then you might hear it 4 times because there's some one-on-one breakouts, and then there's the big room, and then you do Radio Row. And he says the dilemma always, do I just give them the same answer or do I try to go a little deeper? And they were told every time, no, just give them the same answer. Don't try to give the next guy something else. There's that. Just remember that they're all going to different audiences and they can hear the same thing. It doesn't hurt, but they're rehearsed. Now there'll be some special things that kind of pop out of there that might be new. That someone says something silly or stupid. I'm talking about a coach or somebody else, and maybe. And I think they usually don't they have a session where like Steve Shaw comes in and explains what the new rules are. So they might go from there to asking the coaches about some of these new rules, trying to get an interesting take. So there'll be some preparation done before Sam gets to the microphone, and he'll have an opening. I always think it's interesting that there'll be a coach that decides, I'm going to just they're going to have me for 30 minutes. I'm going to talk for 25 minutes.
Filibuster.
And they're going to get to ask 2 questions, and then I'll be done. It's Kevin Trainor's job, the moderator, to cut them short and say, "Coach, now it's time for questions."
Yeah. So. Taylon Green's going to be one of the 3 athletes representing Arkansas, along with Sam Pittman. They're, the quarterback oftentimes is the leader of the team. I think 11 of the 16 teams are bringing their quarterback to SEC Media Days. How do you think Taylon will do representing himself and his team?
Yeah, I think he's pretty good at that kind of setting, Tommy. I mean, I believe that most quarterbacks are. They have grown up in the spotlight. They've done interviews. This is different than anything else. There's likely to be 500, 600 sitting out there in front of him.
Yeah, be a full room.
That can kind of now.
Maybe not with the athletes, with the coaches, yes, but maybe not with the athletes. So.
You say the Arkansas is at the tail end. There'll be some folks heading on home, and that they have flights that afternoon, and they've already got what they need. There won't be as many on that last day as there is on day 2, and the bulk of those Alabama, Auburn guys, they'll be hitting the road to get on out of there. That's usually the bulk of where all this comes from. But Taylon will do well. I want to talk a little bit about his role and what he can do and what he can't do for this Arkansas team. That might be another segment altogether, Tommy.
I want to talk about his wide receivers. I mean, and I want to talk about
that's where I was going.
Yeah, well, let's talk about it right now because the news this week of it's going to be a list that I think a lot of the fans are still trying to figure out and learn these names of guys like Ishmael Cisse, who's apparently injured. How does that affect things, Clay? I mean, Omega Blake, Raylan Sharp. I mean, I would imagine Monty Harrison, who was on the team last year, he's 29 years old.
Gosh, he might be 40 now.
But I mean, Jaylen Brown. I mean, I think this is. It's kind of like
C.J. Brown.
It's kind of C.J. Brown's another. It's kind of like some will be more familiar with him because of his Bentonville ties. But it's kind of like that scene in Major League where I won't use the exact line, but they're looking over the Cleveland Indians roster and they're wondering who these guys are. That's kind of the world we live in now with the portal and NIL and all these things. But Arkansas, it is particularly on the offensive side, not a lot of returning names.
Yeah. So there's the assumption that this is year 2 for Taylon Green and the Bobby Petrino offense, but it's not year 2 for some of the key players that are going to be around him. You've got new tight ends, you've got new linemen, you've got new running backs, you've got new wide receivers. And this is a precision option offense. And when I say option, we're not running the read option, we're not running the veer, we're not running the wishbone. But it's the triple option in the passing game. It is built to make the defense wrong. Well, to do that, everybody has to be on the same page. The quarterback looks out there and sees that the cornerback has walked down, the safety has come over and is going to be playing in the box, and he's got one-on-one press coverage out there. And he sees that, and then they take 1 second after the snap, and that cornerback has backed out of that. It's a completely different coverage. The safeties have rolled. So the wide receiver and the quarterback have to be on the same page and read that and go to the option route that fits the coverage. And there are so many times that I saw last year where a pass went into an area and it was a given that it's an interception or a bad throw. But it's not necessarily Taylon Green's fault. The receivers did not understand the option concept and didn't read it the same way the quarterback did. So that's what I'm waiting to see, is if they have the polish in the Bobby Petrino offense with a lot of these new parts. We just assume that year 2 with Taylon Green is going to be better. And I think he'll probably have better ball security. There's going to be some things that they've worked on that limit some of the turnovers that came from him, looseness with the ball. going to the wrong area, flushing out of the pocket when he should have stepped up in the pocket, turning and seeing the rush from the blind side, knowing where, his blockers were going to turn guys and stepping the other way. So those are the things that I think will get better. But I'm really not sure how this wide receiver game is going to play out, Tommy. And I think that's the real – and it's like that all around the SEC. It's not just Arkansas. The parts are so different from year one to year two with the Petrino offense. The same thing is going on at Alabama where you've got a second-year head coach. Tennessee's got to have a new quarterback, and there are a lot of new quarterbacks around the conference. Georgia's is changing some parts. I think your question is really good about these wide receivers, and we're trying to learn the names. They're trying to learn the routes. Well, they're trying to learn the options.
Yeah, and I'd mentioned that earlier. We think that when the quarterbacks and the wide receivers get together to throw, it's all about developing that timing and that chemistry, and that is true. That's true. But the other part of that is the wide receivers. There's a certain chemistry that goes together with the other wide receivers, getting the blocks, running the right routes, and those routes aren't just one guy running around. There's another guy running something different that gives the quarterback a second option, and those two things have to align and go at the right angles. We were talking about setting screens in a Eddie Sutton practice earlier. Well, there's a lot of that preciseness that has to go into route running. You talked just a second ago about Taylor Green throwing a pass, and it seemed like he threw it into the flat or wherever, and no one was there. What happened? Well, because a wide receiver didn't get their assignment correct.
Or the back.
We talk about chemistry. We think it's all about the quarterback and the timing and understanding body language and the release points, but there's a lot to it with just the wide receivers working with the other wide receivers.
Yeah, and that's everything we just talked about is important. The thing that's got to happen is that the tackles have to set the pocket. And he has to, I'm talking about Taylor Green, has to believe that they can set the pocket so that there's not any happy feet, that he doesn't bail and run. And, he bailed and ran to Armstrong's side about 80% of the time. And that's where he was going to throw it because he was bailing to his side. Mm-hmm. The old love song, she only have eyes for her, only have eyes for me. Well, he only had eyes for Armstrong, and that was a problem. He did not have eyes for the tight end in the middle of the field. You know why? Because he was running away from him. Mm-hmm. And you can't see something that's in the back of your head. So he has to have protection, and he's got to trust the protection, and he's got to stay in there and step up. And, we had a lot of criticism early on with Brandon Allen, but what he did that last year that got him in the NFL is he stepped up in the pocket more times than he didn't. And when you step up in the pocket, those tackles get a lot better. You have helped them because the first thing that happens is the rush slows and tries to turn in that angle, and they turn right into the blockers. So he's got to do that, and I think that was the number one problem that he had last year is that he wouldn't step up in the pocket.
We were talking earlier, we were at Hardee's yesterday, and our friend Matt Mock with Mock Legal Solutions had stopped by and just to say hi and get some breakfast for the office yesterday morning. If you're looking for a great group of people that will take care of you and your legal needs, it's Jackie Mock, it's Matt and the team at Mock Legal Solutions. They've got 2 locations. They're in Salisal. They're also in Fort Smith. Jackie's got 13 years of experience dealing with car wrecks, with slip and fall cases, with divorce, with custody issues. She can represent you in the hardest times and help get you through maybe what seems like the impossible for you. They also understand that you don't have a $5,000 retainer, so that's why they make everything easy to understand with easy to deal with flat fees, low down payments, and monthly plans that work for you as well. Go to mocklegalsolutions.com for more information about Jackie and Matt and the team, that's mocklegalsolutions.com, or call them at 769-1505, licensed in Arkansas and Oklahoma. It's Mock Legal Solutions. So let's go back to spring ball. You talked about the line and setting the pocket, and there's a couple returning starters. There's 3 new starters. You got the transfer and Caden Kidler in the middle. You got 2 guys that we know with Carmona and Amarian Harris that should be the guards, but it's really about those tackles. It's really about Corey Robinson on one side and maybe Shaq McCroy on the other, or some other names that are maybe behind them. But like, was it Brissett, I think, is on the left side. But point being, what do you remember, Clay, from watching spring ball, from seeing the practices? And we got to see more this year than we ever have before with Sam Pittman. What stood out to you about that line, and what gives you hope that they can do the things you just talked about?
The key man that I think has had to get situated either this summer or early in fall practice is the right tackle. And I didn't see enough quickness from Shaq to be able to slide and set that pocket, he's got that length. He's 6'10", and I think his run blocking, he can move a pile forward, say like a Jason Peters, Sean Andrews did because of the mass. But his ability to move his feet and then know when his guy's going to dive back inside and can he get there. I'm not so sure that he's the right tackle. It might be a Marion Harris. And I keep thinking that he's going to step up and become the player that we thought he was when he came out of Joe T. Robinson, and that he was a blue chipper, was way too big, lost weight. He slowly put it back. I want to see him this August and see if he's in the 315 range. He hasn't been 315 in about 3 years. He got down to 275 and slowly has built it back up. And then I want to see Kobe Branham from Fort Smith Southside. Is that right, Tommy?
Yep.
He had pec surgery, pectoral tear, which is serious for an offensive lineman because it means you can't bench press. You can't lift with your upper body for several months. And he's on his way back. I don't know whether he's really ready to go right now, but he might be by the time they get to, say, the Notre Dame game.
If he's healthy, he
might be the right guard.
If he's healthy, he's a starter.
Yeah, and Carmona is going to be just fine. I think the left side will be markedly better. I think that what they have at left tackle and left guard, in center, I think all of that, a natural center. Last year, was it Addison Nichols that they converted from guard? I think that was a negative. I mean, the snaps were a problem. If you'll remember the Oklahoma State game, I think that about 2/3 of the snaps were off to the left and low. Anytime he had to move right, his snap was left and was a problem for the quarterback. See, those are the things that when you're trying to make those reads in the option game, and the first thing that you do is have to look for a bad snap, that play's dead. And there were times where the ball was on the ground because of that, not just, having to bobble for it. He didn't, so.
Well, it just throws everything
I think
off.
You're better at the center position. I think you're better on the left side. And my question is, who's going to be that right tackle? And if they get that right tackle, I think this will be a tremendous boost to this team, to the offense. And I mentioned that you got to get to 35 to win your SEC games. They'll have a chance. If they get that right tackle situated, I think they're going to be good enough in the running game. And I think that will translate into a better passing game. When you can run the ball all at once, your play action is a valid option. I think they're going to be better in the middle of the field with the tight ends because I think the quarterback's going to step up and he's going to me, the easiest throw there is right down the middle. It's the shortest throw. You should be the most accurate. But you have to be able to have a pocket so he can get to the middle of the field. But go back to what you asked about. I'm not sure about right tackle, and that still has to become a solid part of this team.
And I think I'm so glad you brought up Kobe Branham because if he gets back, the sooner he gets back, I think it gives you more options up front, and particularly with the Marion Harris and what you can do with him, because he's probably a little more utility whether he plays inside or out on that offensive line. And Branham's an inside guy, but I think he's one of those guys they're building for the future, and I think he's a nasty guy in there that they really like Branham. I think he's the kind of tough player they're looking for.
What they say about him is when he gets his hands on you, that's the end of the play for that guy. That he locks you up. And you say, well, that's holding. No, that's not holding. I mean, if you keep your hands inside and you get your hands on their jersey, on the front part of their jersey, that's the end of the play, right, Tommy? I mean, that guy's done. And he is so strong with his hands, and he's so quick with them, and he's got long arms. He's beast-like. He's what you're looking for in the SEC. I don't know his mentality. You probably have seen him play high school football. Was he one of those guys that played right to the whistle and maybe another little bit past?
About 4 heartbeats past. He's
about 4. Well, that's
got
what you want.
He's got a mean streak in him, and that's exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And I think they're well, they're big on Kobe Branham. They just need him. They just need him healthy and ready to go.
I think he did just fine in the bowl game.
Yeah.
I mean, here's what you know about an offensive lineman. If you don't notice them, they played pretty good.
That's exactly right. Hey, next week's the All-Star break. It's going to be in Atlanta. I maybe get a ticket and head over, take in the Midsummer Classic. That's going to be there. If you're wanting to find some stuff to have some fun with next week, the Oaklawn Sports app will have all of the Home Run Derby. They'll have the Midsummer Classic, the games we were talking about this coming weekend with the Cardinals playing. The Braves, there's all the Major League Baseball lineup for this weekend. Dodgers and Giants for this weekend. You got golf next week. Next weekend's the Open Championship. All the odds will be there as well. And it's easy to fund your account with the Oaklawn Sports app. Debit and credit cards, PayPal, Apple Pay, Venmo, and on-site cash all work with the Oaklawn Sports app and the Oaklawn Sports Book. Arkansas's best sports betting app. Bet with the brand you trust. Bet with Oaklawn Sports. Clay was at basketball practice earlier this week. We'll hear from that. Plus, Darrell Walker had an interesting thought, the coach at Arkansas Little Rock, on why we are where we're at now with college athletics and the revenue sharing. We'll get to all that and more coming up. This is plus your SEC update. This is the Morning Rush.
You're in the middle of Football Friday on the Morning Rush, presented by QC Kinetix. Get real lasting relief from chronic joint pain.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-551-3241. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-551-3241. That's 800-551-3241. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
I'm going to do just fine. The Ducks are going to take it on 10.
This is the Morning Rush.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Hey, it's Matt Jones. If the weather has raked your roof and you need a roofing company you can trust, call my friends at Patriot Brothers Roofing. They are licensed, bonded, insured, and lifetime River Valley residents located in Van Buren.
Thanks, Matt. We are also the only roofing company in the River Valley that installs a full CertainTeed integrity roof system and registers a 50-year warranty directly with CertainTeed. Avoid the door knockers and storm chasers. We are local and we will be here long after the storm chasers are gone.
Check out PatriotBrothersRoofing.com or call 479-652-9479.
Patriot Brothers Roofing, because your home deserves only the best.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off, or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while. Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get. Could be lower testosterone. Lower T? Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me. I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real? Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean. And it's made a difference for you? Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom. Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves? Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BODY to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text BODY to 321-321. That's BODY to 321-321.
Evan Cohen here. Typically, you don't associate speed with quality. For example, you don't go through a fast food drive-thru and expect a gourmet meal to go. Well, here's an exception. If you're hiring, you can find candidates fast who are also extremely qualified for your job. Just use ZipRecruiter. With ZipRecruiter's advanced resume database, you can proactively find qualified candidates in minutes. No wonder why ZipRecruiter is the #1 rated hiring site based on G2. Try it free at ZipRecruiter.com/USL. That's ZipRecruiter.com/USL.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Save no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
You're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest? He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What'd you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight. We're about the toughest there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
The Hawks have finally climbed the hill. It's the first SEC tournament championship for Arkansas.
where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
SEC Media Days are next week, Atlanta, Georgia. ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com. We will be there, presented in part by the Stadium Shop. Looking ahead at week one, Clay, some big games on week one. And I know it will be the final game day show for Lee Corso when Texas visits Ohio State. Looking at a couple huge SEC matchups. I don't know how you get a bigger game with two bigger brands in college football than the Horns and the Buckeyes. Week one of college football season.
What we're going to do all fall is look at the rankings. And of course, the college football playoff rankings don't come out for a while. But I think that Ohio State-Texas game will factor into a lot of what we think is the power between those two conferences. And it's a little bit of a shame because I don't think either team is quite going to be what they – the same look that they're going to have in, say, late October and November when their quarterbacks have, been coached a little bit. I don't know that will matter, though. I think that that's going to be a game that everybody says, well, the SEC is really good and Texas is a power. Or say that it's a 28-10 game. Ohio State wins. They're going to say the Big Ten is the deal. And Ohio State deserves to be in the playoffs even if they lose one or two. And unfortunately, that's just the nature of what this type game means. You've got two heavyweights. You've got two teams that are going to be considered for the playoff if they have, the kind of year that, they lose a couple of games and they're still going to be – this game will not disqualify one of the other teams, but it will determine the power of the conference as the rankings start to shake out.
Yeah. Alabama's at Florida State. LSU is at Clemson. Outside the SEC, Notre Dame's at Miami. But those are three pretty stout SEC games to open the year, Bama and Florida State. I think it's a big year for Caleb DeBoer. I mean – I don't say he's on the hot seat, but we were talking about hot seat coaches the other day. He's amongst probably the top 4 or 5 in this league, and it doesn't seem fair, but he's got to show something this year in the direction. Not that they had a horrible year last year by most standards, but by Bama standards, I think he's got to show a little more this year to avoid being in a bad situation in year 3.
Yeah, I'm going to go to somebody else. It's in one of those games you just talked about after this, but you are right. I think he's a heck of a coach, and he had Washington in the equation on year 2, but he had his quarterback. And I'm not sure. We'll see. He did not have his type quarterback last year. We'll see if things are markedly different this year. But the most important thing that he didn't have last year was his team. They were Nick Saban players. They wanted to play for Nick Saban, and everything he did, I think those players turned their head and looked at him a little cockeyed and said, well, that's probably not the way Coach Nick would have done it. And there's not a right or wrong way to do it, at the top level. This is a top-level coach, but he needs to show something or they're going to have a little bit of a negative attitude among their fan base. Now, let me switch gears. You talked about LSU and Clemson. LSU and Brian Kelly have struggled out of the gate. They want to see something, and he is loaded up with they bought their players last year. They got who they had an NIL budget, a collective that was able to get before the curtain came down with this house settlement. They were able to get what they wanted. We'll see if it matters. We'll see if their offense has become a consistent juggernaut. Everybody says LSU is going to be good this year, but you don't go to Clemson and just kind of stroll through there and pick up a W. It'll take something special to win that game. And if they don't win it, he's going to have a backlash. I spent some time, in South Louisiana this spring in a golf tournament. They already were talking about that game, Tommy, and it's there is one thing you don't want to mess with. That's a drunk Cajun.
Good way to get a bottle of whiskey in the back of your head. Bottle of
No
Crown Royal
question.
in the back of your head.
I'm talking about a coach. Yeah.
One last thing, and I want to kind of stay on the House settlement, but last thing to wrap up the SEC update. Matt Jones from Kentucky Sports Radio is reporting that student ticket prices for Kentucky basketball are going up 70% this year. Prices going from $200 to $345, which is still a bargain if you can get your hands on one of those probably coveted student tickets. But 70% increase. Football prices have gone from $90 to $145. So, the rev share and all that is being absorbed in many other places, including student tickets for Kentucky basketball. All right, that's your SEC updates brought to you by Farm Credit. When it's time to spruce up your existing home or build a brand new one, you can trust the experts at Farm Credit of Western Arkansas to help you choose the right financing option that's best for you. Go to myaglender.com. That's myaglender.com, or stop by any of Arkansas's 25 locations for Farm Credit today. That's Farm Credit of Western Arkansas. We're talking about the House settlement there and the money. Darrell Walker, we know him from his playing days at Arkansas, but coach at UA Little Rock. He had something interesting to say about how maybe we could, because I think we all agree we've gotten to a point of craziness, right, Clay? We have gone beyond the guardrails. It seems like the bus is headed down the side of the mountain. We're just waiting to crash at the bottom of the Grand Canyon right now. And Darrell Walker had something interesting to say earlier this week about, hey, all of this could have been avoided.
Well, you could thank the NCAA for that. They were greedy. They have pimped athletes for 60 years and not giving one athlete anything. I said 15 years ago, if the NCAA just would have gave every athlete $5,000, guys would have been jumping out the dorm room going crazy. But they didn't do that. They kept it for themselves. The genie's out the bottle, and she's never going back into the bottle. So now you got to pay players. You got to pay players. This is the era that we're in now. Some coaches can deal with it. Some coaches can't. I can deal with it because I laugh about it because it's the NBA to me. I'm good with it. I'm good with it. I have no problem with these guys getting money. None whatsoever.
You know, they tried to start this. Mike Slive led this with full cost of attendance. That didn't go far enough. I think and he lays it at the feet of the NCAA. It's the rules that the members that make up all these crazy committees that the NCAA have come up with that have driven this. But I think, and that's part of it. But Clay, when you tout and you brag about a coach and you're going to pay a coach $8 or $9 or $10 million, when you flex your muscles and talk about our league distributed $60 million to its members every year. When you ask publicly for donors to give $40,000 to be in the richest and rarest seats within your venues, this was inevitable. And I think some of this was just too much flexing by the schools, too much flexing by the conferences, and ultimately the numbers got so obscene that we led to where we're at. But Darrell Walker is absolutely right. If the NCAA would have unbuttoned that and quit trying to hoard the money and shared a piece of it with the athletes, we might not be talking a week or two ago about 18 different athletic department employees being laid off. And that's essentially what it was, Clay, at the University of Arkansas, trying to cut costs.
I just remember when you rebuilt the north end zone building, the Broyles Center.
Yeah.
And and rebuilt those seats, the club seats and everything, and how much money they spent, borrowed against the future. And Broyles Center probably needed to be, spruced up a little bit.
It was about 50 years old. So.
But did they need that? And the sad part is that, about half of those office rooms are now empty. The cubicles in the office rooms. I mean, it's the purge, and there's not a guarantee that they don't have another purge because it's.
I think another one's inevitable.
Yeah, and I think that we've got bloated staffs, and it's the rich. It's an armed race. Do you need all these analysts? No, you don't need all these analysts. But if one team's got them, then the other team's going to have them. They're. And I look at the list of coaches and support staff, and then I go back to the 70s when I looked at Coach Broyles' staff, and there was 10 coaches 2 trainers. That was it. I mean, they purged graduate assistants in the 60s. And then gradually over the next 40 years, they add one. Then they add another. Then they add a full-time coach. Then they added another You got 10 full-time coaches. Did the product suck in the 60s and 70s? I don't think it did. But you know what?
But the
they
money
were giving players $15 a month in laundry money.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it was just wrong. You know, it's like, you know, but I think that there's Darryl Walker's pretty astute. And, you know, you were talking about, do we remember him as this and that? I remember him as an NBA coach, an NBA head coach. And he's got a ring with the Pistons, you know, as a player. I think Darryl is among the smartest people that I've ever been around. He is street smart from Chicago. And he knows what the wrong that we did to these athletes. But hey, you know, coaches, they had free cars. Players had no cars. It was,
and if you had, they took your keys from you. Generally,
they took your keys from you. Yeah. So it's, but you know, Tommy. We don't know where we're going. We think we know this is the model. No, we don't. And I think I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and John Calipari 2 days ago, he says, I've had parents ask me what's going on. And I tell them, well, if you figure it out, you tell me, because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what the next year is going to be. I don't know who's going to be left standing and who, you know, if this money thing is, you know, if we're going to have NIL or we're not going to have NIL and it's just going to be revenue sharing, or we're going to have both. And there's no guarantee. It's just like when we hit COVID, you know, 6-7 years ago, things changed every 2 weeks, every 3 months. You know, it was a different thing. We're going to play games. We're not going to play games. We're going to play all SEC games. It was incredibly volatile and fluid, and I don't think we're out of that yet. I think it's going to be volatile and fluid, and we don't know if there's any way that this new organization or whatever, you know, that's behind the revenue share is going to be able to police. Do they have an enforcement staff? Are they any good? Are they going to wink, wink? You know, is Ole Miss and a few others, Auburn, are they going to decide to blatantly cheat like they did before? Can anybody stop it? Does anybody care?
Here's the only thing I say we can say with certainty. 20.5 million is just where we're starting. And we already know that number's going up. But, you know, the structure of college athletics is you know, I think when you look back at all the big landmarks in college sports, making freshmen eligible, scholarship limitations, all of these things, this is the biggest thing that's happened in any of our lifetimes. Hey, if you're going to do some fishing this weekend, LureNet.com's got everything you need to load up the tackle box. Go there, and every order over $35, it gets free shipping. These are brands, these are products made in Arkansas, Rebel, Yum, Booyah, and more. And you can find exclusive deals on their website that you won't find anywhere else. That's LureNet.com for everything you need for your tackle box treasures this weekend, LureNet.com. Clay, one thing we can do is load up and head over to the White River and get there below Gaston's. I know that they've been running a lot of water, and it's been a little harder to do some wade fishing, but the White River in Gaston still a pretty cool place to hang out. I know they were busy 4th of July weekend.
They got some great guides, too. I know a lot of them, and they know how to manage this water, and they know where the fish go in high water. They're still catching big fish. I tell you what I'm going to do coming up, and I mean, don't tell anybody for sure. Don't put this on the radio. Yeah. Do not. I mean, don't make this a cut and put it out on the radio, but I bought me a jig pole. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. A jig rod.
Yeah.
I'm going to bounce some 3/8-ounce jigs off the bottom. You know, I'm going to get them down there to those fish, and I'm going to catch me some fish. Coach Campbell and I, we used to do that a lot. I'm not saying I'm giving up on fly fishing, but I'm going to do I've got me a nice fancy jig pole's what they call it, and an open face Shimano reel.
You got a bait caster?
No, it's open face spin. It's a spin combination. I'm gonna jig fish. I'm gonna bounce those jigs off the bottom.
You'll have it back.
Find those big rainbows and those big browns, and you're gonna see me hopping and hooping and yelling and jumping up and down the boat when I hook one of these big monsters with my spin combination.
Then we'll see Coach Campbell throwing you out of the boat. That's what we'll see.
No, he's going to be catching them, and I'll be oaring him. He'll be oaring me. You know, we've got oars on his boat, and we take turns. And I want to tell you, he and I, when we go, it is a good day, Tommy. I don't care if we catch any fish or not. You know, it's kind of like, you know, the days that you spend playing golf with Ty. You know, that y'all look at each other when it's over and you just want to hug.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, big old bear hug. You hug Ty. I know you do every time y'all play.
Yeah, we did last year. The one time we did play.
One time. I hear you.
870-431-5202. One of our favorite spots is the White River and Gaston's White River Resort. Great guides, great restaurant that overlooks the White River. Private cabins and lodges for you and your crew. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time every time.
You're in the middle of Football Friday on the Morning Rush, presented by QC Kinetix. Get real lasting relief from chronic joint pain.
Evan Cohen here. Typically, you don't associate speed with quality. For example, you don't go through a fast food drive-thru and expect a gourmet meal to go. Well, here's an exception. If you're hiring, you can find candidates fast who are also extremely qualified for your job. Just use ZipRecruiter. With ZipRecruiter's advanced resume database, you can proactively find qualified candidates in minutes. No wonder why ZipRecruiter is the #1 rated hiring site based on G2. Try it free at ZipRecruiter.com/USL. That's ZipRecruiter.com/USL.
Jen has ordered a decadent seafood tower, king crab legs, lobster tails, and a waterfall of caviar. Pricey? You bet. But Jen worked with Empower on her savings and investment strategy and planned for splurges like these. She got good at money, so she can be a little bad. Ooh, champagne. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisory Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. OMG, those shrimps are really jumbo.
You all know if I have an off day, I'm going somewhere.
This is the Morning Rush. Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
The paint store in Van Buren is still the place to go to when doing the job right really matters. Our unique line of Richards paint products was chosen by me to perform for you. This is Sue, and my 35 years of experience ensures you get the right paint and the right color. That's important to you and me. Thank you for your support. Come see what I'm talking about. 1414 Fayetteville Road, the paint store, Van Buren.
To $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off, or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
I am so jealous of Clay Henry and where he's having lunch. We'll talk about that in a minute. We were talking about it during the break. It's really not right what he's getting ready to do. But anyway, QC Kinetix, Football Friday. They present it every Friday before you go down the road of surgery, drugs, or downtime that's going to keep you from the things you love. If you've got joint pain in your back, your shoulders, your knees, your hips, QC Kinetix can help solve that for you with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime. They help me with my shoulder. Wherever you're hurting, they can help relieve that pain without masking it with prescription drugs, without surgery that's going to take you down for weeks or even months. They've got a licensed medical provider there to go over your x-rays and MRIs now and tell you what the next move would be. 479-999-1234, 999-1234 for QC Kinetix. Clay, you told me you're going to Heidi's, one of my favorite lunch spots in all of Arkansas. I hope you're going to have the fried bologna sandwich today at Heidi's in Norfolk.
I do like that, and that's on my list. I like her Reubens. I like her turkey Reuben. But I know what I'm going to do.
What are you having?
I'm going to have strawberry cake to finish it off. That's my favorite. She told me yesterday. I've got 5 of my buds coming. Leo Crafton, Hal Honeycutt, Tom Courtway, Rex Nelson, Wayne Reed. And it'll be a battle for the check. I hope I lose.
Alligator arms.
I'm joking. But these are my guys, all right, Tommy.
Well, y'all have a great lunch. Clay, thanks for being here today, and we'll talk later on.
Okay. Thank you for having me, Tommy.
All right. Halftime with Matt and Phil coming up next on ESPN Arkansas.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports